Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Day of the Video Diary. How's it going today? Today it is Wednesday and we are staying in today mainly because we have no reason to go outside, but also because the weather is pretty grim. It's got to be said. It's very grey, there's no sun in the sky particularly, although it's not raining. It was raining earlier, so it is pretty miserable. I keep pressing things every time I spin the camera around. So we're staying in. I'm doing work and I'm just going to sit around doing some programming is what I'm doing today. My aim of the game is to try and get my website up. So I've got like just a splash page of content on it at the moment. That is my plan of attack. So that basically it's easier to start doing CSS, to start filling it up. I've got like examples of how everything's going to look and all that kind of good stuff. I'm also looking to try and make it look good on smaller devices as well, because at the moment it scales well to about 625 pixels in width, but as soon as you go below that it starts to go a bit messy. So I am looking into ways of fixing that at this precise moment in time. Otherwise, this morning I woke up, I felt crap, hay fever, swung. I always get worst hay fever when it rains, and last night it was quite warm and it was raining, so we had the windows open, which screwed me over big time. So I woke up this morning feeling horrible. I had to have like a shower to like try and steam myself, to steam out all of the pollen and stuff. But I'm feeling good now. Well, I say feeling good, my throat is still a bit crap, but feeling better. Got dressed earlier than normal as well, because I got dressed before 7 o'clock. Whoa, I know. Just like got up, got in the shower, got dressed, trying to make myself feel better, to be honest with you, and it didn't really work. Laura's now gone off to work, and that's it. Tonight we may be going to go play some snooker with Josh. Potentially, we mentioned it last week, because we were organising it for last week, but then Josh had like a meeting at work that was going to run late, and therefore it didn't go ahead. However, we said like, oh, we can do next week, but then I also haven't heard back from Josh since, so maybe not, who knows. Hopefully though, hopefully we get to do that. Oh dear. But yeah, otherwise I was thinking to myself, because I'm doing programming and stuff, I'm thinking like, I wonder how much time I spend in things like Visual Studio, like that piece of software. I bet I spend an exuberant amount of time in Visual Studio, because like I must do. I just must do. Because look, there it is, it's open now, right now. And like, I wonder if I spend more time, like I bet Chrome is by far the most used thing on my computer, but I bet second is Visual Studio. Is that sad? Probably. Okay, I have my initial designs so far. All I need to do now is make it look better on smaller screens and get it a bit more responsive. But I think we're doing pretty good here, ladies and gentlemen. All we need to do, so now I can do all of this inside the like toggle device mode, can't I? Yeah, look at that. So here's the plan then. We pop this inside here and then we figure out exactly how to design this for like what size. Well, I guess that's kind of what you want, isn't it? That kind of responsiveness. I don't particularly know. But yeah, I've got to just make this pretty now for smaller screens, because at the moment it don't look pretty at all. Because some things are 100% width and some things aren't. Some things are like a fixed width. I think that's the main problem. Right. Oh god, do you want to look? Okay, so that is the first view of jamieped.co.uk. It's not live yet, but this is what it looks like so far. I think you should be able to go into the description and check it out yourself, to be honest. Like I say, I'm just trying to figure out all of the CSS and stuff, and then I'll start populating it with things. But I'm planning on migrating my blog over to this page. That might take me some time though. And then also hosting things like photos from like Instagram and all that kind of stuff. It's going to like all hook together, hopefully. But yeah, so that's my plan of attack, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you like it. Let me know if there's any problems you find. I'm going to get mobile in, trying to make it look pretty on mobile. but I could deploy this. Shall I deploy it? In fact, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to deploy it right now, because why not? Let's have a look at the builds, just make sure that the last build worked, and then otherwise we can do it. Because now, yeah, like this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to get it to the point where it looks good on computers. I'll put it live. Then I'll set it up for mobile. So right, there we go. It's the build passing. So let's queue a build for deployment. Build and deploy. It's going to ask me for the environment to deploy it to, but I've only got one environment, so just go for it. And here we go. We're going for our first deployment. Oh shit, this is well exciting. Here we go. We're deploying, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exciting. I've got to awkwardly do it. I don't have my own build server. I tried to organise this so that I could build it and then deploy the built version of that thing. But the problem I had was that I don't have a build server. It's like one of them servers that just like spins up just for me to use it and then it disappears. So it's quite difficult to then deploy that to Azure. So every time I want to deploy it, I technically do a rebuild on a different thing. It's quite annoying releasing in build, but it don't matter. It's a workaround, isn't it? It's not a professional website, is it? I'll calm the fuck down. Maybe when I buy a new computer, Atlas will become a build server. Maybe. Probably not. But, well no, yeah, she'd probably make a good build server, to be honest. This is pretty cool. It's pretty cool, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. jamieped.co.uk is now live with this design. All we need to do is make sure that it scales well. Because it scales well to a point, to about, well, I guess the image has just gone off the page, look, to about there, but then it just goes garbage. No, because some things are fixed in size and some things aren't. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Apparently the way that you're supposed to do this kind of thing is design from small to large. So you basically put it as small as you think it's going to go, i.e. phone size small, and then make it look pretty there, and then you start to spread it out, and then you start to make the most of the space that you're given rather than the other way around, which is try and condense everything down. But if we go to this now on my phone, how bad does it look? It looks pretty bad. It looks pretty bad, but do the links all work and stuff? All the links do work. Look at that, it's beautiful. Absolutely bloody beautiful. So if I click on Instagram, it takes me to Instagram. Swag! Alright, sweet. I'm happy with this. I'm so proud of this design. Genuinely really, really proud of it. So I hope you guys like it as well. Just be nice to it. Look at it on a desktop until I tell otherwise, basically. Also, you know when your throat is like... It's like a bit like having a cold, where it kind of tastes horrible. Like the back of your throat feels like it's like thick, although it's not thick. Like that's what it feels like. It feels like when it's like that, you feel like all you want is a cup of tea that makes you feel better. But then I feel like if I have a hot cup of tea, it might make me feel a bit sick. It's a hard life. Maybe this is a cold, maybe it isn't hay fever. Hay fever is like a weird thing where like it has cold symptoms and you can never tell which one's which. Because like hay fever blocks your nose and hay fever tablets don't do shit to help block, like stop blocking your nose. So it just feels like a cold. But I think juice. Let's have some juice. That might make me feel better. And then CSS. I'm basically coming in here for my 11 o'clock tea break a little bit early because I've done well. So, there. The problem with this camera is everything's really blurry, isn't it? The background there is quite blurry. I've got to get quite close to it. Depth of field's too short. There you go, that's time. I just realised how like out of focus the background is. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Distractions. Okay then, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm just currently doing a deployment up here on this monitor. But we are down here. This is what the page currently looks like before I've just done some tweaks, so you'll notice that it's actually like a bit ski width. You can't notice actually because it's not in focus. But it's a bit ski with, nothing really sits right, but we are just doing a deployment. So after this is done, we should now get something like... Oh, it's spinning up. Is it deployed properly? There we go. Oh yes, look at that now. Oh, I don't know why it's doing that, but there we go. So it now fits in the page. Look at that, that's so much better. What just happened there? I think I just took a photo. Don't think I knew it was possible to take a photo while I was filming. Surely it stuttered the video though, because it opened the... Anyway, so that I think is okay. I don't know whether the buttons are a bit small. If they are, I may have to sacrifice some space in places. I think the bottom is okay. Yeah, are the things too small? So if you click that, look, it actually goes off and allows you to open things in like Facebook and stuff. You can change pages. I think maybe the buttons are a little bit too small. They might need making a little bit bigger. But we're in the fine-tuning stage, ladies and gentlemen. What I've got so far, this is the phone version. I'm going to try and set up like a intermediate version because it kind of jumps quite like it's quite wide what I've got as a phone at the moment. So I've got to try and chop it about halfway, create something that's like a little bit in the middle between full size and that one, and then we'll go full size, and then we may go for a double full size. Make the thing on a little bit more responsive if. But it's not going good. I think it's going well, ladies and gentlemen. It's bloody lunchtime though. I can feel it because I'm eating myself right now. So let's go for lunch, ladies and gentlemen. I just linked Laura and Laura's sister my website to look at and to like test. I think the buttons might be a bit too small, like I say, but she seems to think it's okay. So, well, it might be okay, who knows. But then I realised that the SSL, Google flags it as a warning because it's not SSL, unless you directly link towards the HTTP page. If you just go www.jaminped.co.uk, it'll go to SSL warning. And I'm looking into like getting an SSL certificate because like, so I don't have to have that, so I don't have that warning, basically, so I can just encrypt everything. But the problem is, A, the certificates can be really expensive. To get one through the hosting company I've got at the moment, it's like £60 a year, like bloody hell. And to use it on Azure, I can't use the shared computing plan. I need to have a dedicated computer that's working on it all the time, which is estimated like how much was it? 4 times more expensive than the shared one, because I don't need a dedicated computer for my website, not yet. So I feel like I'm going to live without this SSL up until the point where I decide that I need it. Because I mean, like at the moment the dev thing is literally still on, the website is still in dev mode. As soon as I move my blog over I might consider it, but until then oh well. Right, I am now officially deploying my last my last deployment for the day. All of the CSS is now sorted, it's all nice and fixed and happy, so it will sit pretty on any device, touch wood. So it will scale down to mobile. What it is what I've got like mobile size, like thin, and then it spans out to a medium size, middle size, and then it goes to large, and then it takes advantage of a full size screen or whatever. So it's looking pretty good in my opinion. I like it at the moment. What I've got as well, within each one of those, I've got areas where it will try and make the most of each little bit. So it will, while it's the smaller half of each size, it will be doing things to try and fix it and stuff. So technically I've got like 6 levels of magic going on behind the scenes, and I've got what I consider to be a pretty but clean website without the use of Bootstrap, because fuck yes, that was my main goal, was to be able to do all of this without Bootstrap or JavaScript of any way, shape or form. I was thinking about having a scroll up button, but I've changed my mind, in short. So, this should mean now that it's live. So I could go to the website and have a look. joeped.co.uk. I apologise for the SSL issues. But we'll look at that. Bam! There we go. That image takes a while to download. I might make that image a bit smaller if I can do. But let's show you what it looks like. So here we are in full screen mode. I'm gonna have to just wait. Hold on. Let me just minimise everything and then we'll bring it back up again. Should have prepped this before, really. So in full screen mode, it's like taking advantage of everything. I think this image might be a bit big. I might like compress it in Photoshop because I think it takes a while to download. But as you drop down, the first thing that will start changing is the size of that home page bit. That will start to shrink as soon as you hit there. It's now starting to shrink, but it's fixed, shrinks. As soon as you get to something which is deemed like iPad sized, where's the thing gone? It will go to like that there, which it shrinks up the header a little bit to make more room. This is now a fixed size up until a certain point, and then it starts to shrink again. Obviously the footer and stuff is all shrinking at the bottom. That's now shrinking with size, and then as soon as you get down to something that's deemed mobile, it'll go like that, give you even more room, so you've got more room to read things. Everything's now a little bit smaller and spaced out at the bottom, and it'll go all the way to a certain point until that apparently is iPhone 5 width. If you're going any thinner than that, then you can just fuck off, alright? As far as I'm aware, my iPhone 5s are probably the most common thinnest phone going. Most are like, that's a really thin phone, isn't it, the iPhone 5? And I think that's probably as thin as it's going to get. If you've got any thinner than that, then you're going to have to deal with like having to zoom around the page because it locks itself to a certain size when you get lower. But yeah, I'm happy with that. All I need to do now is populate it with content. Easy, right? I'm also going to look into the size of that image because it does seem to take a while to download. When you clear your cache. So how big is it out of interest? Can I find that image? It's only 4 megabytes. Like how big is other images on the internet? Like is that too big? I thought that'd be quite small, 4 meg. Is this, how big is this image? Can I look? Can I look at it? Can I please? Yeah, alright, I'm gonna drop that down in size a little bit more. What about Dibble? What's Dibble? Yeah, I think it's got to be closer to 1 meg than 4. So I'll sort that out. That's easy. I'll get that deployed. God damn. Good evening. We are time jumping away. Oh my lord. We're time jumping away to go to bed. My hay fever that I woke up this morning is cold. Is a cold, and it's affecting me quite badly at the moment. So I'm gonna head to bed and try and sleep it off. I'm quite tired as well. I've also been fighting with my design, like while I've got it designed and deployed and stuff. At this precise moment in time, there is an issue with the positioning of the footer, because if the way I'm pushing the footer to the bottom of the page, if you put it in landscape, it can often overtake and overlap the content, which isn't good. So I'm going to try and work my way around that. It's quite a complicated thing. It took me a while, and I've still not got there. It's stressing me out. I've got to like fight with minimum widths and stuff like that, which isn't fun. But otherwise, had dinner, watched Life on Mars. Life on Mars, which is actually really good. I actually quite like that program. And yeah, that's about all. Tomorrow, more of the same. Hopefully recovering from this cold. Yeah. Sorry, lol. We didn't go snooker either. I guess I don't know if I told you that, but he's busy. He was at work and stuff. Cool. End of the video. I'm tired. I feel very ill. Well, coldy. Catch you later.